For those who don't remember, in the mid-2000s, the internet was obsessed with Chuck Norris facts jokes like, "Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down." The game's director literally said they wanted to bring that tongue-in-cheek sense of humor to your keypad. A rogue Soviet army is holding POWs hostage in Cambodia. Chuck's greatest enemies, specifically Fidel Castro and Kim Jong-il, have united to invade and destroy America. Only Chuck can stop them. You play as two skins, Ranger Chuck or Commando Chuck, and this game understood the assignment. The environments are totally destructible. You can literally punch down houses with your bare fists or mow down a forest with a machine gun. Gameplay-wise, it was a standard side-scrolling beat-em-up. You had your punch, your kick, and the legendary special move. But the magic was in the details. As you played, the game flashed Chuck Norris facts on the screen. For example, when you pick up a weapon, the game might remind you, Chuck Norris doesn't reload. He stares at the gun until it refills itself. One Italian review of the game noted a fact displayed at the start of level 1. Chuck Norris doesn't retreat, he attacks from the opposite side. These small touches turned a simple Java brawler into a love letter to the meme. But the legend didn't die. In 2015, a new game appeared on iOS and Android called Nonstop Chuck Norris. This time, it wasn't a beat-em-up. It was an idle RPG or a clicker. You tap the screen, Chuck Roundhouse kicks a wizard or a robot, and you collect coins. It featured weapons like electric guitars and selfie sticks. It's hilarious, but lacks the gritty charm of that 2008 Java original. Chuck Norris once said, "When you play my game, you're not playing a game. You're experiencing a lifestyle," and he was right. But here's where Rambo Forever has a very unique quirk. You don't tap to shoot. You press the fire button once to turn the gun on, and bullets stream out continuously. You press it again to turn it off. It saves your thumbs from getting repetitive strain injury, though it does lead to a lot of wasted ammo. The game was developed by a company called Infusio, who had actually made a previous Rambo game back in 2005 called Rambo on Fire. For Forever, they refined the chaos. The enemies are relentless. You have standard infantry running at you, but also divers popping out of the water, gunboats, and even attack helicopters. And this is the jungle, so you'll see enemy soldiers hiding in the trees or throwing grenades. If you start taking fire, Rambo flinches. Because of that unique firing mechanic, if you get hit, Rambo drops his trigger finger. For a Java game running on a phone with maybe 2 megabytes of storage, Rambo Forever actually looks pretty decent. The backgrounds have parallax scrolling, meaning the trees in the back move slower than the river in the front, which gives a surprising sense of depth. When your bullets hit the water, you see splashes. When you hit an enemy soldier, their hat flies straight up in the air before they crumple to the ground. Enemies mostly follow set paths like they are on rails. They don't really use cover intelligently. Because of the hold-to-fire mechanic, you can often just draw a lazy S shape with your crosshair and mow down entire squads without breaking a sweat. It lacks the frantic tension of the Rambo films. One critic famously called it shallower than a pool of South Asian soldiers' blood. Harsh, but not entirely unfair. You couldn't have 3D graphics or orchestral scores, so you had to rely on solid mechanics. Rambo Forever gave you an M60, a boat, and a bad attitude. Sometimes, that's all you needed. Developed by Infusio, a powerhouse in the early mobile gaming scene, this game throws you into the boots of an elite international task force. You aren't just playing a generic run-and-gun shooter. The story revolves around a global conspiracy. A rogue ex-agent has gone off the grid, aligned with a nasty terrorist organization, and it's up to the RAW team to hunt him down and foil their plans. You travel across multiple international hotspots, think dark docks, enemy strongholds, and volatile war zones. For a game that was often under 500 kilobytes, the narrative ambition was surprisingly high. It wasn't just about shooting, it was about unmasking a traitor. You have 2 primary gameplay pillars. First, squad-based tactics. You manage an elite Spec Ops team. You aren't just a lone wolf. You have to position your squad, Utilize their specific skills and clear rooms methodically. Second, stealth phases. You had to avoid searchlights, stick to the shadows, and take out guards quietly. If you tripped an alarm, suddenly you'd be swarmed by enemies, turning the tactical game into a frantic firefight. The environments were destructible to a degree, and the lighting effects, especially the shadows cast by searchlights in the stealth missions, were genuinely impressive for a Java game. It utilized the full color depth of your phone's TFT screen. Sadly, like many great Java titles, RAW Special Unit has largely been lost to time. It was distributed through carrier portals like Vodafone Live or Orange World and on aggregator sites like GetJar. For the retro enthusiasts out there, you can still find preserved copies on archive sites. You just need an emulator like J2M eLoader on Android or Chemulator on PC to run it. Once you do, you'll find a tight, challenging experience that holds up way better than the licensed cash grabs of that era. If you remember playing this on an old Sony Ericsson, let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to the scene, it's worth finding a JAR file and giving it a shot.